Welcome to the movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Rochelle.
Yeah, you're not here, so I did it out of order.
That's all good. We're all here.
And yeah, Rochelle.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
In person. She has not been to the Madhouse studio live.
That's right.
Yeah.
I usually just pop on the live feed and just go, hey.
Yep. I see you.
I see you. I'm watching.
Excellent. So yeah, you came down for a cool screening yesterday.
Yeah.
And
it was a lot.
Yes.
I always forget how much it affects me, like big screen. It affects me on any screen. But then when it's on big screen, I'm like, oh yeah.
And
this is painful.
I know. Halfway through the film and all day today I'm waiting, but I want to do it here. I want to apologize because I never once even asked how you would feel watching it.
You know what? I wouldn't have answered that answer because I wouldn't have thought that. Like, it would have just been like, oh no, I've seen it so many times. I mean, of course, it'll bring up emotion. That would have been my response. Because it really just didn't occur to me. And honestly, I was just sitting there and we're in this old, thing full of people, and like all of a sudden I just realized how much it was like hitting me, and I couldn't even move. I was like, so it was a shock to me as well. Like I wouldn't have been able, so don't feel sorry about that. If I had known, I would have said something ahead of time, like, hey, maybe I'll wait it out till after it's over and then come in and say some stuff, but I just didn't know. But sometimes it's good. I just need to cry it out and feel it.
Yeah.
I miss him a lot, and when I see his smile, it hurts. But it's, I need to like be allowed to do that. So
no, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad we could all watch it together because that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it really was nice to see it on the big screen again and just noticing things I had forgotten and stuff. So.
And then also that short film that was in front of it, Grandma Martha.
Great.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Really cool flick.
Oh man.
Yes.
So creepy.
Yeah, it has a really dark feel, but it's such a great idea.
Yeah. Unexpected. It is not exactly what it looks like.
Exactly. Oh, look, the doctor is here. Happy Thanksgiving, you all.
Steve-O!
I'm wondering if he's just, like missing me whooping him in that game.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. He was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've been whooped by Rochelle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pop on and say what's up.
And his hiney was spanked twice pretty hard last night.
Yeah.
We were playing pros with cons.
Okay.
And
won both times.
We know who the pro is now.
I'm starting to wonder, though, did they let me win? They didn't let me win, right?
Well, he never lets me win. I can tell you that.
That's what Steve and I said at the end to save face.
Right. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm totally winning this because I'm amazing at games and very competitive. So.
Yep. Oh, she was cleaning clock. Like literally. And even in the second game, we thought Chris was going to win.
Mm.
And suddenly at the very end, boom.
I was like, oh, what's that?
Because I think you won by 2,000 the last game. Yep. The first game she cleaned.
Oh
everybody's
yeah,
clock.
I cleared it. But second game it was a little closer. But I definitely, it was all those the extra
pre-sold
tickets. I had so many of them. If I didn't have that many, I probably would have lost.
And normally, like when we go to GME for our monthly game night, Chris is usually the one to do that sneak up and win kind of thing.
He's the quiet in the background, like,
he tried with her, but she was sitting right next to him, so it didn't work.
But it doesn't work for me.
We were all talking a bunch of junk about beating each other. He was sitting there. Chris was just quiet, and I knew that, so I was sitting there like, you don't think I'm paying attention, but I'm watching you. I know you won.
Dr. Stevel just said, we let you win because you're the guest.
Oh, yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
That's definitely the Stevel answer.
That's right.
If that's the truth, let's rematch and I'll show you how it's done again.
Well, Crowfest is coming up, so Steve will be back for Crowfest.
Nice.
So yeah, here we go. The tiebreaker.
Yes. Pay-per-view.
There's no tie, baby. You mean you need to beat me once? I've beat you twice.
Yep. Oh yeah. So he's got to beat you 3 times.
He's got to beat me 3 times
to
to take the lead. Then, if he beats me twice,
no pressure,
then
Steve.
it's a tie.
This is
this.
seriously a wrestling story right here. This is a wrestling rivalry right here.
Oh, it is. Yep. It is.
Yeah, SmackDown coming.
Yeah.
Just
The
saying.
Smack Talk last night was insane.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And
it was on point.
It was fun because she kept beating him with his cards.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the beautiful part of pros with cons. You can beat somebody with their own card
when you're playing with the people on them. Yes.
And I have this really, really wonderful way of being able to start a sentence that has such a pleasing sound and then ending it with an absolute uppercut. So I would just start a sentence and he'd be looking at me with these nice eyes, and then I would just jam and he would just go, oh,
nice.
man. Like,
felt that one.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, that was a blast. So now you're sticking around for Crowfest.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on this week.
Yeah, I mean, well, because of you. I mean, otherwise I'd have no life. But
we're traipsing the countryside this week.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think I said this to you a few times, is that I'm really trying to book a lot during 2024. I know that it's 30th year anniversary for the Crow.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people in different areas that I've never been to that, can you come here? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a huge tour for 2024 and do some reunions with some of the people and whatnot. Mostly to get away from my area, but also to be able to move eventually from that area completely. So this is a good start to it, because I usually just go to like a 1 weekend thing, and then it's months later. So being away from my house for a week, doing several different events and things, gets me out of my comfort zone, gets me ready, pumped to start doing events next year.
So all of my ThunderCon and Deep River Geek Fest and Sudbury Graphic Con friends, London Comic Con, Forest City Comic Con, who else do I have? Specs, Sarnia Pop Culture. Yes. Listen to what she's saying. Because that's 30 years now.
Yeah.
It's 30 years. It was 30. This year is the 30th year we made it.
Yes.
But next year's actually 30 years that it was released.
Yeah, because you and I talked. It was May, wasn't it?
Yeah, May 13th, Friday the 13th of 1984.
Because we looked, and there's only 2 Friday the 13th next year, September and December.
Yep. So September would probably be the one that most people are going to jump on if it's the Crow thing, But
yeah.
But it's just, I just think it would be fun to. It's mostly, I mean, one thing is the idea of being able to make some dough to move, but mostly it's just I miss the people that I worked with. I get to see them so few and far between. The 30th year is a perfect excuse for us to all do reunions, to be able to, we always say, like, this is our way of tricking you guys into making us get visits with each other. Like, we get to reunion and hang out with each other, and technically we're working, It's like,
yeah,
we love that.
Mike said a very packed schedule.
Yeah, I hope so.
4 days of out and about signings.
Where did the Rochelle Davis Southwest Ontario tour?
That's right. We should get t-shirts made.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Yeah, I went on the Ontario tour, and all I got with this was this stupid t-shirt. Yes.
Do you at least have a VW bus to be touring in?
You know what? I saw one online the other day, 1969 VW, decked out in like Grateful Dead upholstery. Okay. It was like $30,000. I was like, if I had $30,000 right now, it was mint. I mean, perfect.
30 grand though. That's not bad.
That's what I said. I was like, if I had 30 grand, it would be mine now.
Yeah.
Because that is worth a lot more than 30 grand. It was in perfect condition. Even the engine. I was like, did they drive it ever? Like, it was beautiful.
And that's the perfect travel vehicle right there.
And it was like red with like the white, and it was just beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Man.
Yep.
So what's it like so far? Oh, there's Linda. What did she say? Such a dark but amazing and memorable film. Well, it's definitely got some dark to it.
Definitely dark. That's my grandmother once bought me black Sharpies when I came to her house to go do a signing in I think it was Palm Springs or something. And she brings these black Sharpies, and I go, have you seen my film? And she looks at me and she goes, yeah. And I go, Rain. And she goes, oh, your pictures are probably very dark.
There's probably one daylight scene?
There's maybe 1 or 2 pictures I can sign with a black marker. Everything else has to be
other that
silver,
sign on your
gold,
face.
Something, something that's going to show up way more than that.
Like that one up there is
white
the bright silver.
Yeah, I was going to say white or red, the opaque ones, but you can't even do like a Sharpie that was blue or something. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't show up. It's even if it's light blue, it wouldn't show up.
You would need a silver or gold,
right.
Or
if it's light blue, you can get paint ones. But
Yeah.
Gotta have color. Can't do
These are those things that, if you're getting back into the con game, you got to be prepared for this.
Oh,
you got to have an array
I
of
actually
Sharpies.
went through all of my paint pens and Sharpies before I had to come here to pick the best of the best, and then leave the ones that were secondary home because I might need them for the next event.
Yes. They're the backup
I'm not
team.
dragging them all here, just all one of each color.
They're the backup team.
Yeah, exactly.
So today, Rochelle got to experience her first Canadian Thanksgiving.
I did.
Yes.
And it was so delicious. I'm still thinking about that meal.
Yeah, all the stops were for
I'm
that.
dating that meal in my head right now. We're on our second date in my
Turkey,
head.
Mashed potatoes, squash.
I think we might make it serious soon. I don't know. I've been single a long time. And then me and that dinner.
Apple pie with ice cream.
Yes.
It was everything. Mike said, I was introduced to The Crow from the comic book, but took in the opening night as the movie is in Toronto. An amazing experience.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's so cool.
And I said it last night too, but that movie defined the 90s. Because
really it was a few of them, but that theme always had that.
Well, it's all goth in the film,
right? And
then that soundtrack dominated the airwaves for years.
I think there was a lot of that.
STP particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Mike's got it. More pie. Exactly. And this was cooked yesterday, but it was warmed up just enough.
Yes.
So when you put the ice cream on, it didn't melt, but it was still warm pie.
Because when you bake a pie, you really don't want to eat it right away because it's just like a casserole. It needs to sit overnight and like settle in.
Yep.
And that's when it makes it really good. But the problem with that is then it's not warm.
Yeah.
So, and she warmed up just right. So like it didn't melt the ice cream. It was just perfect. Mm-hmm. And then my favorite part of any dinner, it's always the bestest part, is when you get up and they're like, no, go. I'm going to do all this. And you're like, what? I can just eat and leave? Oh my God, thank you. I love you so much. Like, that's the bestest part.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's been fun because, like you said, your Thanksgiving is usually right before Christmas.
Yeah, and it's stressful.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever known anybody in my area to ever talk about Thanksgiving in a way that was nice. It was always like, and I gotta get to Thanksgiving at my uncle's house before we go out for Black Friday.
That's the thing. Black Friday has overtaken Thanksgiving.
Here's the thing: I have a rule. I do not even leave my house on Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go outside. I do not involve myself with human beings because it's like werewolf season on Black Friday.
Every year I'm looking for those videos.
Morph into other human beings that I don't want any part of. I won't even go to the corner store across like up my street to get anything on Black Friday. I'm like, oh, it's Black Friday. We're going to DoorDash that 2 liter of food. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, absolutely not. But some people, they live for it. They'll go out in tents and sleeping bags.
My wife and I used to go over every year. We would try and go over and get some deals, but it came to a point where it just wasn't worth it anymore.
It's not worth
it. So we stopped. But I had relatives. I had one aunt in particular who had like a battle map. She would like, we're going over, we're going to hit this store, then this store, then this store. Like they had it down.
And they had the things they wanted at what times to get at this place before they run out and yada, yada. This is the thing. And then this is what I like to try to, enforce into American brains is if you're going to a store on Black Friday and you're buying something that's 70%, like you're buying $1,000 TV, that's 70% off, I'll bet you it doesn't cost what it actually costs. So that means if they're selling it to you on Black Friday that way, they could sell it to you that way every other day of the year.
They are gouging you.
Not to. But they trick you because they're like, if we get you in here for 70% off, we can make 75, 90% of our sales for the entire year in these 2 months. So you're all fools if you go out on Black Friday.
We were talking food and Linda said we had to stop because we were making her drool.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel you.
And then Mike said, my favorite part is the tryptophan coma. We were
that is the one thing. That's the one thing about our Thanksgivings that is big is that I've noticed people do just knock out. Now we were getting there. For sure we were getting there.
We were out watching that episode and my eyes, I was blinking long And then we were just going out and her eyes were shut. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yep. And it's funny because I had thought to myself, like, I'm a little sleepy and we're going to be getting on that podcast. And so I think my brain went, shut it down. You got like 5 minutes. Shut it down. Get what you can get.
What did Steve say? I was thankful not to work today, Rob. Oh, that's rude.
Oh, that's a burn. Hey, but guess what? He got to hang out with me while he was working.
There we go. That made it totally worth it.
Oh, you had to work today?
I had to work today.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't.
And then I'm off till Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's rough life.
It is.
It's really hard.
But I
when I have to go to work? Never.
Yes. No, tomorrow.
That's not work.
Well, yeah, okay, that's true.
So, yeah, never.
That
never
is
again.
true. The first stop on the Southwestern Ontario Rochelle Davis tour is at the GME. And you were there. What took it yesterday or the day before?
David. No, I think it was yesterday.
It was yesterday before we hit the theater.
Yeah, because then when he came back, I was like, hey.
Yeah. So we went and visited Chris and had a peek at the store.
Yeah.
So we're ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday is Windsor.
Windsor, right.
Yeah, Windsor Media Center on Victoria Ave.
And then Thursday's
London.
Yeah.
Yep, at LA Mood. And then Friday back here at Turns and Tails.
Nice.
And then Saturday, Crowfest costume contest. Yes. That's going to be fun doing that costume contest.
We got to go get me some sneakers and maybe something cute to wear because I don't know.
Oh, Mike didn't have to work today either. Well, that's for a totally different reason,
exactly.
Mike.
Same here, Mike.
Retired.
Yeah.
Same here, kind of. I mean, I'm
Mike,
disabled, so it's basically retired. I'm never going back to work.
Mike just 30-year note retired from a factory. So he's
yeah.
retired.
Now,
yeah.
Steve just said, I got peace and quiet today. Does that mean that I didn't, and you're implying that Rochelle talks a lot? That's the way I'm
listen. I 100% talk a lot. I will be the absolute first person. Do you know what my father said? He's such a oh man. Well, he used to tell people, he'd say, they'd say, yeah, she talks a lot. And he'd go, yeah. He'd say she didn't talk till she wanted to, like when she just didn't say a word. And then complete sentences from that moment on. And it hasn't stopped since.
There's
Thanks,
a lot,
Dad.
lot to say, though. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yes. So if we get back to the Crow for just a second, because we talked a little bit about it at the theater and stuff. Yeah. I love the fact that the animal was more unruly than almost everything else in that set.
Oh, absolutely.
I had no concept of that.
I mean, cats don't care. They're like, out of here with that. I got cat life to live.
Yep.
I didn't notice the cat strapped down at the hot dog stand until you told me, and I watched it last night.
Yep. And nobody notices until you tell them. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah.
The cat.
Because they kept making me pet it, so you couldn't tell that it was trying to stand up, and also to kind of keep it still. But yeah, we had to change the cat out at least 4 times on that scene. Easily, at least 4 times. I know the one that I did in Loft, we changed even more than that. It was probably all 7 cats.
How many birds did they go through?
Yeah. I mean, we had 2 ravens, and they were extremely well trained. They were extremely intelligent. I mean, you looked in their eyes, and you were like,
"That's what they told you."
Are you reincarnated? Did I know you before? Like, are you my pop-up? Like, you just don't, because they just creepily knowledgeable looking eyes. But yeah, they were very, very easily dealt with, I guess. They didn't cause trouble, except for the ring. They didn't want to leave the ring in my hand.
Oh, yeah. Nope, this shit's mine.
Yeah, so
mine now.
They were trained to drop the ring in my hand for that scene, and then I was to close my hand for the scene, and they ended up having to do a slow motion of it because every time he would drop it in my hand, he'd pick it back up. And they'd be like, no. And they're like trying to retrain, and he's like, yeah, I get it. I drop it. And then I go and pick it up to drop it again. Yep. And they're like, So they were like, let's just have him drop it. And then we'll have the scene, film you doing that. And then we'll just kind of slow it down and put them together. So that was the only time he was unruly. Or they. Magic and Omar.
It was a ring. Hello.
It's shiny.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Omar was a little more troublemaker. Magic was a little bit more about Babe, but they were both good.
Omar wanted the bling.
Yeah.
Linda said she did notice that about the cat. I guess I did not.
Are you a cat person? Because I bet Linda's a cat person. Cat people notice because I know cat behavior.
Nathan's with us. Nathan, buddy, how you doing?
Hey.
Nathan's from all the way across the pond.
I was gonna say, I can tell. G'day.
Yep.
We don't say good day here.
No, we say, what the fuck you want?
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out.
James, you're really quiet today.
Well, the last time she was on the show, I had to go and open my big mouth and ask a totally innocent question, and then
What question was that?
I don't remember.
He's like, so that I don't get in trouble here. No,
I don't know.
Quiet because she won't shut up.
No. Nobody tells me what's off limits beforehand, and then I jump all over me afterwards.
Well, that's part of the fun there, buddy.
I was gonna say, that's what I do to my friends. Sorry. Do you not want to be friends? We can.
Oh, Deborah here. She goes, I have the turkey tits right now.
I don't think that's what I think she was saying turkey-itis.
Oh, it looks like turkey tits.
It looks like turkey tits. I was gonna say, I'm looking at it from here and it's far away, and that looks like turkey tits.
Yep. Oh, and Nathan says we say something similar, but with a worse word. Yes.
Yeah.
We know you Australians in those worse words.
Yeah. Those worse everything. They kind of up the ante on all those things.
That's right.
Including their animals and bugs.
Deborah clarified. It says itis, right? Turkey-itis.
She's like, nah, leave my tits out of this.
Hey, Thanksgiving does a lot.
There are breasts involved in Thanksgiving.
That's
yes.
true.
Every turkey has them. Come on.
Fair enough.
Exactly. And legs.
And legs. Yeah.
And cranberries.
Not to mention all the tits and legs at the table eating the tits.
See? Oh, what does it say? The animal thing is not fair. I'm not quite sure what that was referring to. This is the only thing about the chat when it comes through. It's like a couple minutes behind.
Yeah.
Animal thing is not. Do they not have?
Are you talking about
down
on
there?
set? Animals on set? That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe. You guys have things so much worse. Okay. And Deborah said, and don't forget the stuffing. No, the stuffing was dang good.
Stuffing was so good. And
See, I'm not big on stuffing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
We can't be
Sometimes.
friends. I'm sorry.
Sometimes,
that's
but it
like a staple in my life.
Hey, my wife managed to get over it. All right. It
Yeah,
was a
well,
rift. Like I was lucky she married
You want me to go there? I mean, she got over that. And what else?
Exactly. Well, we've been together for 30 years, so she put up with a lot.
Bless her heart.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Apparently, Steve is fond of turkey tits. He said, "LOL."
I agree, Steve. I'd be down for some turkey tits. Any females out there with some turkey tits? I need
Oh, Deborah says she knows how to make a box of stuffing when she's drunk. That's all you need.
I told you that's what I eat sometimes. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'll just eat stuffing, and
I've
I make
done
a
that.
box of stuffing. Sit in a bowl of stuffing. Eat. My son will be
Doesn't
like,
take
"You're
much to
eating
make a box of stovetop. My wife has done that.
It's a
Like,
1.5
munch
cup,
on a
one and a half
box
cup of
stovetop.
water and a quarter cup of butter.
Yep.
Bam,
And
microwave,
yes.
stir it, done.
Oh, here we go. Nathan said, you said we up the ante on everything, including our animals. You guys have stuff so much worse than we do. No. I've sent a
not.
picture to
Wrong.
him of a cow eating a snake. It's like, what's the freaking food chain over there?
No, you guys had a war with animals. You can't even. You had an emu war. How are you even fighting this? Like, there's no comparison.
Kangaroos
Let me
try
tell you
to
something.
drown you.
Yes, in Pennsylvania, we have never had a war with any animal ever. Just saying, I don't think anywhere in America or in Canada have we ever had wars with animals. But
Things
I
get
know
tense
one-
between us and the mooses,
I
but,
know one
but we usually
country-
get that past that.
That's what Nathan said. Big cats, bears, and moose.
Right, but have you had a war with them? I mean, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. I mean, I don't think there's a moose war from Canada.
The great kangaroo uprising.
Right. We don't have animals that can just stand up and kick our heads off, you know. Well,
No,
except for
Mike and I
horses.
have a friend who we had a very long discussion about a fact that there are enough kangaroos in Australia to overtake the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
And kangaroos can swim. So that just means there's just a Great Lake between Ohio and Canada. And we determined that we are not prepared for a kangaroo attack on our shores. So, yeah, that was an entire massive discussion. So you have them, Nathan, and even even the drop bears, all right, even the cute animals want to kill you because they have syphilis.
Like, see, she even said the classic emu war.
Exactly. Thank you. How are we not discussing the emu war? You have much worse. What?
There are millions all over the fields. We don't have to fight
our animals.
That's right.
We don't have to fight them.
We have them for Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right. We eat them. We chase them. We eat them, and we celebrate. That's all we do. We don't have wars with them.
Oh man, yep. Steve's got it. Gobble gobble.
Gobble.
What's this? And right now, the mouse war is crazy.
Mouse war? Oh, there's a mouse.
There's a mouse war.
I don't really think it's a war. They're just trying to find a warm spot, so they're everywhere.
Oh,
but
yeah. Well, the octopus as well. I've been reading about that. A lot of octopus have been found up closer up top.
Yeah,
they're usually way down low, and they're wondering if that has to do with like the global warming type thing because they're just a phenomenon of like the octopus is coming up to way higher ground to like lay their eggs and
really
and make them breathe. Yeah, and they were like, we don't understand why they've never done this before. So.
Something's scaring them away from their normal
making
place.
Them not want to be down where they're usually down.
Nathan says, I was playing golf one day and seen a cow with a swan in its mouth beating a kangaroo with it.
Picture it didn't happen, dude.
You just made my point for me by yourself.
I need to see a picture, man. Come on.
Never seen anything like that around my area.
A cow with a swan in its mouth beating a kangaroo with it.
I'd love to know who won. Definitely not the swan.
I've seen a duck sitting in a Walmart parking lot in my area. That's about as far as it's gone.
Just random Walmart duck?
Yes. I park and he's just like over there like, what's up, man? Just laying down too, not even standing, just laying there like, I'm parked here. You're parked there. Weird as hell, but I mean, it's not what he said. I don't see that in my area.
Well, he even said, hands down, the greatest thing he's ever seen. Yeah, no doubt. Steve says, we don't talk about the Great Moose Uprising of 1973.
It was a thing.
Oh, wait. Deborah, did you hear about the truck that rolled over last Thursday carrying live turkeys and then the truck that spilled celery all over the road? They were dishing up for a roast.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Just needed some carrot and onion. You got a mirepoix going on.
I knew the 401 was closed as soon as I hit Park Ave and saw all the traffic at 6:30 a.m. Yeah. It's about a 10-minute drive to the 401. But yeah, it backs up fast. Yes. Oh man. We need some kangaroos over here.
No, we don't. We're not prepared. Right? That's what I'm telling you.
James, you're with me, right? We need kangaroos.
Do it. I want kangaroos. And wombats. Send us some wombats.
No.
And definitely lemurs. If
some
you have any
dingo.
lemurs there, I'd like, yeah. You got
Dingoes
a dingo.
eat babies. No. Dingoes eat babies. Isn't that what that movie was about?
Oh, Jesus.
Dingo ate my baby.
Nathan says, I'm sure if you put your animals against ours, our animals would lose.
I think that's true, but that doesn't mean we have worse animals.
None of our animals can beat them with another animal in their mouth, okay? None.
Well,
I guarantee you.
It depends if you're going by mythical animals because there's a lot of people that believe in Bigfoot. So if you're going by mythical
animals, version is Sasquatch.
They may be able to.
We have the Squatch up here.
Or the Yeti. I would say in Russia, in those areas, they call them the Yeti.
Let me see. Deborah says, I'll take kangaroos over the huntsman spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing is they got like crazy insects and then a lot of stuff in their ocean that I am not playing with. No. No, thank you.
They got the real sharks around there.
Nathan says you don't want wombats.
Yeah, see?
All over.
You said
I
wombats.
Don't want wombats? Why? They're so cute.
The cute ones kill you. Koalas? They want to kill you with syphilis.
They lure you in.
120-pound big in case I needed to get rid of evidence. But, no, I don't think wombats are actually a good animal. I don't think any wild animal should be an animal you keep. But I think it's funny to say, send me a wombat.
I want a kangaroo.
No.
Yep. Yep. I want a big kangaroo so I can get in the pouch.
I want a kinkajou.
Oh, is that your answer to
what?
A kinkajou?
A kinkajou?
Isn't that like a little yellow Pokemon? No,
that's 5th gen.
Oh, okay.
No, kinkajou. It's
Pikachu.
Like kinkajous are kind of like
kinkajou,
ferrets, sugar gliders.
No.
Nope. Isn't a kinkajou like
Kinkajous
a flying
are like
rodent?
an in between of like a raccoon, a lemur, and like a bear, I think, or something.
Oh, are they bigger?
They're like about this big. They got a little bit of a tail. They're very playful.
Oh, I'm picturing something small.
No, this is like cat size, small dog size.
Doctor wants a platypus.
Oh, right? Yeah, I want a beaver too.
Or blue bottles, apparently. Scariest part of the ocean in Australia.
Blue bottles.
Is that a fish?
I don't know.
I don't know if I've
would
heard that
assume.
one.
Or a shark.
Maybe.
Because of it. I don't know.
James, what do you think? I'm trying to include you in here, dude. You're not saying a word. So I'm trying to get you involved.
Dolphin?
Blue. Oh, maybe.
That's why I said shark, because I was like, the name of it would just sound like something.
Oh, there we go. It's a type of jellyfish.
Oh, interesting.
Well, yeah, jellyfish.
Yeah. And Deborah's right. A moose beats a wombat any day. But Nathan says at night, when you hit a wombat that runs out in the road, it's like hitting a boulder. It looks like you hit another car.
Oh my God.
That big?
You know what? I live in Bucks County. And so there are so many deer that it's impossible to drive and not almost hit deer every time you drive, pretty much. And it's pretty funny. They can do some serious damage, and they'll run out and then just kind of stare at your car, and you'll be like trying to slow down and weave around them, and they'll weave into your car.
Yep.
You're like, oh my gosh. Like it's
That's why because we have a good deer population at a few of the parks near here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So that they always tell people just keep driving straight because it's going to try and juke out of the way itself.
If you keep going, you might miss them or hit them.
Here we go.
But if you try to move, they will.
A moose beats a bus. Screw the wombat. Yes. It's true. It's true. Oh, and Nathan said, huntsman spiders are your friends. They eat all the other bugs.
I do love spiders for the fact that they eat other bugs, but not when they're dangerous spiders. Like we find them in the little corners in our house, and we're like, cool, eat all the flies, eat all the mosquitoes. We're good with that.
Yep.
But I don't want something that could like make my arm blow up and be like twice the size of my head.
Yeah.
And as I learned in a film that may or may not have been a documentary set in Alberta, I believe, you want to match spiders. We do have the brown recluse spider up here.
That's true.
That is true.
Okay, I learned it in a movie once.
They're deadly.
A documentary about walruses.
I think we have brown recluse in some parts of like Northern America, but they're only certain parts. You don't find them everywhere.
They turn you into a walrus.
Yeah. You get bit by a brown recluse, you get turned into a walrus. I saw it in a documentary.
By Kevin Smith. Steve says a shark with a freaking laser attached to his head. That's
what they have near Australia.
Laser. That was awesome.
Deborah said, if you swerve and hit a deer, doesn't insurance deny your claim too? Because you're not supposed to swerve, as they usually jump out of the way.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I just say don't swerve because I've been in so many situations. I've hit 2 deer in my life, and because I've lived 20 some odd years in Bucks County. But the first time I hit the deer was because of that, because I was just swerving. There were so many times that I didn't hit deer because I continued going and then just missed them, or they, but they will try to turn into you. And the second time it was just unavoidable. He ran out as I was running. So it was like, that was it. But yeah, it's bound to happen.
Well, here we go. Blue bottles are like little blue balloons with pain strings attached to them.
Yeah.
That's
jellyfish are a little scary. I saw one of those deep ocean, discoveries, and they had a jellyfish that was way down in the depths of the ocean where it glowed. Like it looked like lights all through it. It was crazy. I was like, whoa, I bet that thing stings way hard.
I haven't been to the Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto, but a few years back, the wife and I went to Chicago. So we went to the Shed Aquarium there, and they have a room that's just like a wall of jellyfish.
Oh, wow.
Just a jellyfish wall. And my wife saw that and goes, I want this in our house. She wants that in her bedroom. Just a wall of jellyfish in the bedroom. So that's on our when we win millions of dollar lottery list,
obviously,
right there.
on the list of that.
Yep.
Aaron says if you kill the deer you hit, you can keep it and bring it to a butcher for the meat.
Yep,
that's true.
That is true.
Yeah,
they do that in
I've heard that.
lot.
I think there is
they have a truck and they hit they'll throw it right in the back of their truck and take it with them.
Oh yeah, I think there's also a wait list for people for when the person doesn't want the deer.
Yeah,
I think I've heard something
other
like that.
people will take the deer. Yep,
interesting.
That's why they ask you to really report it even if you hit a deer and you can't do anything, like your car's not that damaged or whatever. They ask you to at least report where it is so somebody can come and get it before it's decayed and not usable for the meat.
Okay. Nathan's next comment does not coordinate with what he said earlier. He says, now, if we are talking venomous, poisonous creatures, then yeah, we got the world on that one. But regular animals, I think it's the rest of the world is worse. If you have the most venomous, poisonous animals,
that's pretty much the worst.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Especially
You can't
considering
just
most of
include
those
other stuff and like negate that.
Yeah.
That doesn't...
Especially because most of those venomous, poisonous things are really small and can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Our scary things, a moose, you can see them coming.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see that coming.
If you get hit, it's because you deserve it.
Right. You stay far away or that's on you.
I've heard a story years ago of a man who was decapitated by a moose. Snowmobile. He was on a snowmobile and went right underneath a moose.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah, that body's not moving.
I was going to say those bodies are so.
That was a story I heard from Kevin Smith years ago. Like he's reading weird news stories from Canada.
We went camping, me and my family in Canada when I was really, really little. And my mother, being the psychotic woman that she is, took us like 4 miles on a hike. So then we had like another 4 miles back to the campsite. But when we got to the like where she decided we were going to turn around and go back, it was essentially like a cabin where somebody wasn't staying there at the time. It wasn't winter, so they weren't there to ski. But all their stuff for skiing was next to the cabin, and right in the water, right in front of that in the lake, was a moose. And my mom just went, "Don't move." We stopped and we were like, we weren't going to. That thing's huge. And she's like, "We're just gonna stare at it and watch it, and then we're gonna get the heck out of here." So. Yeah, it was huge. And
Mike said the venomous stuff likes to hide in toilets too.
No, nah, no, thank you. Absolutely not.
Nathan said the Sydney funnel web spider will chase you down just to have a nibble, and then things will kill you.
My yoni is coming nowhere near the toilets of Australia. I'm just letting you know.
Do you work for tourism, Nathan?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Yeah, you haven't helped your case at all.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually wanted to go to Australia and now I don't. So
I've seen a couple of
even on the 30-year tour. I'm gonna be sick that week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I can make it on account of no.
Aaron said, I've seen a couple of moose. When you see one for the first time, you aren't prepared for how big they actually are.
That's what I mean is when we were on our, we're on our trail and then we stop and she's like, "Stop." And we're like, "We already did."
Yeah,
because you can just see the
we're
sheer
a mile
mass
behind
of
you.
it.
Yes.
I was just saying we were easily a good 50 feet away and you could still tell how huge that thing was. We're like, we're not getting a step closer, not even an inch.
Yeah,
that was the feeling I got when I went to the Toronto Zoo, going to an actual proper zoo, first time in like 30 years when I went, seeing like a real elephant and a rhino, like they're massive.
They're massive. They're massive.
They're this big on TV,
right? Because you can see, you're like, "Oh, they're big," but it doesn't really. Yeah,
it doesn't register.
Giraffe, you have huge necks. When you go to the actual zoo and see them, you're like,
"Yeah,
oh, that's really like that's a really long neck."
So yeah, we have the moose. That's our big one right there.
Yeah, that's a huge
Nathan thought we
animal.
made our point. See, decapitating moose.
Yeah. Oh, all he did was stand there too.
Yeah, fair enough on that.
Steve said, "What about our cobra chickens?"
Those are our friends and our protectors. Don't badmouth the cobra chickens.
Speaking of chickens, did anybody follow the chicken war on TikTok?
The chicken war?
No.
Uh-oh.
I would just advise you all after this to just go on TikTok and type in chicken war and enjoy.
Okay.
Because there was a chicken war on TikTok and everybody with chickens got involved.
This
and
is the guy rolling
funny.
with his pot. The guys rolling with their gangs.
There was one guy that started it, and I swear there's easily 50 videos of people just with hordes of
chicken farmers, and
they're like,
just,
"Oh, you got your chickens, we got our." I mean,
but they're playing like gangs,
so
like it's like this is my posse.
Yep.
Yeah, well, my posse's rolling.
Yeah.
And
oh, it's amazing.
I did see some of that.
There's somebody that uses something other than chickens.
I only saw chickens.
Chickens, but I have. But
maybe goats or something.
God, it was something, but it was like it got out of control. I was like, "This is hilarious. I could watch these all day."
I'm gonna look that up.
Chicken wars. Yeah.
Aaron said, "While I was working in Lake Louise, I was headed to a coworker's place, and there was a huge buck with a red tag on it in the parking lot. So I turned around and called him and said, 'Sorry, I feel like there's more that you weren't showing up. Probably that you were going to stay for the deer. I think there was more there. Yeah, moose. They're just a massive biological hazard.
Yeah, right. You're just too big for the earth. You're like a dinosaur now. You shouldn't be here. You're way too big.
And yes, but one shit from them can fertilize half a forest.
That is true.
That's why you have such green.
Exactly.
It's all the moose.
Could you send some moose our way? We're like really running out of greenery.
Forget your pig manure, your pig, cow, and horse manure for fertilizer. We got moose manure.
That's right.
I'll give you that. That's way better.
Nathan said we do recommend that if you're out in a rural area, you check the toilet before you sit.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, we already discussed this. My yoni is not going anywhere near Australia toilets.
It sounds like you'd be safe in Sydney proper. You'd probably be safe in Sydney proper.
I'm not testing that theory.
All right.
I go to Sydney for a week. I will go to the bathroom on the plane when I'm heading home.
I was somewhere where somebody told me, just be careful.
Hurt. Yep.
They said, just be careful. There may be rats that can come up into the sewer lines. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to use your toilet ever. Ever. I'll hold it forever.
My suitcase fits right on top of the toilet.
I figured it out.
I had pet rats, and I don't want a rat coming out of the toilet while I'm going to the bathroom. No.
You go to Australia, you stock up on Depends.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
If I have to wear diapers to go to a country, I'm not going.
Catheter?
No.
No?
No.
I'm trying. No. I'm trying, Nathan. I'm trying to get her to your neck of the woods.
Aaron said, I also had a bear encounter while in Lake Louise. That was, well, I didn't shit my pants, but wow.
Did you scream? Did you do what you're supposed to do? Did you scream at it and put your arms up and shit?
I'd have been wearing the brown pants for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. A killer moose on the loose in the prairies. I think that's a movie.
That's an upcoming Kevin Smith flick.
Yep. Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws.
It's like Jaws with a moose.
It's a retelling of Jaws, but with a moose in Saskatchewan.
Obviously. That's what else would you use?
Oh, okay. I know where we are now because these guys say, yes, I seen that. And the chicken war was fantastic.
Thank you. Right?
Yep.
I didn't even know that could be a thing. And somebody was like, dude, did you see the chicken war on TikTok? And I was like, I don't really go on there much. And they're like, please do yourself a favor. And I spent easily 45 minutes to an hour just going, this is freaking amazing. I can't believe this is the whole thing. Nope. And people were dead serious. They were like, oh, you got your crew? I got my crew. Like, it was funny.
These two go really good together. Nathan said, haha, your rats are bigger than possums in some places.
True.
And then Deborah says, hashtag the more you know.
Yeah, the funny thing is I had a cat that ran away from a rat once because it was so big. It was like, nope, I don't think so.
Makes me think of the original Adventures in Babysitting with Elizabeth Shue. Her friend who loses her glasses.
In the subway.
Oh, kitty, lady, put the sewer rat down.
Yep. Aaron said here, the bear story is more involved and might take too long to explain. Do not scream at them. You have to remain calm.
See, I saw a show once where a woman, she runs into a bear, and it's actually a show made in Canada. So I figured this must be what you have to do because she is with her baby and she just screams at the top of her lungs as hard as she can scream. And this bear finally just turns around and walks away. And the funniest part is somebody walks up to her right after it happens and they go, ma'am, and she's just like, ah! And they're like, oh, and then they walk away.
See, it works everywhere.
No. After having seen another documentary that came out recently, if I'm ever approached by a bear, I'm just going to throw a bag of cocaine at it and run the direction. That's my bear plan.
You readily have a bag of cocaine to throw at a bear if it comes at you?
I will not confirm that.
All right, that's right.
It's called an emergency bag.
Right, just for the bear.
Just for the bear. Nathan said, "You're safe here, no problem at all. Don't fuck with it, and it will leave you alone." He goes, "I ain't going to Canada and poking it with a bloody stick."
Here's the problem: wet paint. Yep, that's wet.
That's true. That is true. Everybody has to know.
You know, I'm a curious person. I'm not going to not mess with things, so I probably shouldn't go.
And then Aaron says, wow, what she's talking about must be a black bear.
Yes, it was a black bear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it actually was a black bear. And that's why I assumed, like, I was like, she's an Indian show. They clearly say it's in Canada. I know, and she seems like she kind of knew that was the thing to do, but never was confronted with the having to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really funny, but and then the after effect is like, she's like kind of laughing and like crying all together because of the endorphins of just scaring this bear off. She's like, like just breaking down. I thought I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I would try, but I don't know if I could.
Well, as soon as the adrenaline wore off, like that, she's just gonna collapse, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
But Aaron said black bears can be scared off, but not brown grizzlies or especially polar bears.
Bears are very vicious. Yeah, you ain't scaring them off.
Yeah,
they'll be like, "What did you say about my mama?"
Well, and we have a very simple way on how to tell the difference between a black bear and a grizzly bear too. You need a pair of steel-toed boots. And what you do is you walk up and you kick it in the head.
No.
And then climb the closest tree. If it climbs the tree and eats you, it's a grizzly bear. If it knocks the tree down and eats you, it's a black bear.
Oh, there we go. That's simple.
See?
Easy. Lemon squeezy. How you just told me that before.
That documentary that I watched where I learned about the cocaine, I also learned I'm not climbing a tree with a bear.
Nope.
Deborah said I accidentally
trapped a documentary. I do highly recommend it.
Yes. Deborah said I accidentally trapped a raccoon in a cat trap. Had to let the poor guy out. He was pissed.
I had a raccoon as a pet once. He was awesome. Yeah, they are very intelligent animals, and when they're mad, they are mad.
Yes, my grandmother had one for about 4 days because they lived in Erio across from a provincial park, and it got washed up under the beach.
Right.
So they got it healthy and then drove it back around. But
yeah, we got ours when it was little. It was like in somebody's attic, and we had to like get them out of this person's attic for him. But we ended up keeping one, not with like a collar or anything, so we could go in and out. We had it for probably a year, and then it was like bye, and that was it. But
I'm out of here.
Super fun while we had it.
Nathan says he wants a raccoon.
They're so smart that around here when they get really bad, people used to have like the Rubbermaid garbage pails with just a snap-on lid where it just clips on the sides. Nope. They started selling straps, like locking straps. That would stop
we
them.
used to lock stuff up in my house because of our pet raccoon. We had to lock it with like a lock, like an actual padlock.
You got to child-proof your house because of a raccoon.
It together with something, he'd unclick it. He they have hands. They're like, "What are you talking about? This is easy. I'm gonna eat these cookies now." Like they don't care.
I want to get a raccoon named Rocket. That's it.
Oh, everybody wants that.
Yeah. Aaron says I came across a grizzly twice in Lake Louise. The first time I saw it from a distance while on a path from a hill to the village. I ran into a parks guy and he gave me a ride to the village. Hang on. And the next time it was after a shift working. I was cooking up there. The shift I had clean and portioned salmon. Oh, dude, no. Don't go outside if you smell like salmon.
No, I was going to say, what are you, crazy?
Yeah,
That's what they love.
He said, so I must have smelled great.
Yeah.
That's like bathing in chum before taking a swim.
Yeah.
Right.
Or rolling in nerds before going into a daycare. It was a nice night, so I decided to walk to the village and thought I'd walk along the road so I wouldn't run into a bear. I got to a point where there was a dead pine marten on the road. I'm not sure what a pine marten is.
No, I don't either.
But he doesn't like it because he said he was like, oh shit. I came to the part of the road where the path went under the road. Oh my God, this is like a serial. I have to wait for him to type the next thing. Bum, bum, bum.
But we're invested now.
That's right. We're not giving up on you, Aaron.
What happens under the road?
What after the road? What went after you go into the road? What's under the road?
We're sitting here, we're waiting. What's under the road? Okay, type faster, Aaron. Then all of a sudden there was a sound of the gravel moving beside me. Dude, don't do this.
Beside me? Okay. What are you doing, Aaron?
And then I turned my head and saw it. Dude, you're killing me.
No.
He's doing this shit on purpose.
More complete sentences. Say more faster.
Then calmly walk to the other side of the road. What did you see, man? What did you see?
Dude, Ryan Seacrest doesn't make people wait this long. Come on.
Like this one time at band camp, like this is not going to be worth it.
Scrooge just randomly running into a bear. A swan wielding a cow is so much less dangerous.
Less dangerous, but way cooler.
Yeah. And I started to signed "Don't eat me." You signed "Don't eat me"?
because they're going to understand sign language. I mean,
Right?
all animals understand.
You never
sign
know.
language.
You never know.
That's right.
They may.
Then it's when the bear stood back and went, "Oh, bother." I just wish I could do Winnie the Pooh. And the bear was following me on the other side of the road all the way till I got to the river. Well, yeah, he's thinking you're a fish. And oops, where'd it go?
And then you became best friends, Christopher Robin. We understand.
Sing sign. Dude, now you're just messing with me.
Sing song, so pot.
Oh, here it goes. I sang a song I made up in my head. Yeah. I wish I was anywhere but fucking here. I wish I was
Please don't eat me. Please don't eat me, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear.
Once I crossed the bridge, I didn't see it anymore. Yeah, dude, I would have been walking so fast.
See, I lived in Miami. We got training in one animal and one animal alone.
Alligator.
Alligators.
Yeah.
Run zigzag. You're good. That's it.
Serpentine?
That's all you need to know.
Okay,
Stay out of the ocean. There's barracudas
Hold on.
there.
We're on a new thread. Did you hear the theory that Pooh is actually it? No.
What?
No.
Okay, wait a minute though. I do have a
Sorry,
Pooh.
Aaron. Great story, but we're done. Now
Yeah.
we're now to Nathan.
I do have a Winnie the Pooh with the crow makeup on. Somebody drew. Like,
Really?
an artist. Yeah, I have it
I
in my
think I've
house.
seen
It's
something
really,
like that
really cool.
online.
Yeah, I'll have to show it to you someday because the guy like makes them and sells them stuff, and he brought me them.
That is
And I was
awesome.
like, this is so cool. It's Winnie the Pooh all decked out in crow, like the trench coat and all that.
That is awesome. Okay, finishing errands. He said, I got to my apartment, went to the fridge and grabbed a beer, and my roommates were like, what's up? I said, bear.
The
Yeah.
bear knocks on the
See?
door. So
Excuse me, can I have the fish that just walked in
This
here?
is a one-time at band camp story.
Yes,
like,
it is.
This one time, and now you got home and you saw
Oh.
your roommate and said bear.
Dude, look it up. It's a great theory. That's what you're giving us?
well, it's not his theory, obviously.
Yeah. Dude, you don't just drop a water balloon and then say, oh, hope you don't get wet. That's not
Look it up,
cool.
It's a great theory. Pass.
Yep. I have to do work.
Yeah, that
Forget
sounds
it.
like a lot of work. I already have stuff listed to do. I'm
Yep.
going to pass on that.
I'm going to, scroll through Facebook and play a game and maybe not off. That's not on my list.
Yeah, definitely not off. You're definitely going to.
Yes.
It was great. Christina's like, you're like, I'm not falling asleep. I'm not falling asleep.
Just
She
blinking.
just turns her face and goes, 2 minutes or less. Sorry, 2 minutes or less. And then I'm like looking over every about 10 seconds, and within about 40 seconds, his eyes closed. And I looked at her. She went. I was like, God, she's good, man. She knows.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. He's going to send it to us. Good. I'll send
Yeah,
it to you,
because we
Rob.
need a lot of conspiracy
Oh, wait.
theories to
I-
deal with.
Don't want to take
The time to write out a full text.
forever
It seems like you do.
to
I feel like this is a lie.
type
I feel like you're lying.
a
to us.
story.
Yeah, you're definitely lying. It's a lie.
I think so. Son of a gun. Well, I got to look that theory up.
That'll make for an
Think-
interesting conversation.
You use your phone too much.
That was all good in a sentence there. Okay, James, since you haven't talked a whole lot, I need to know how your Thanksgiving's been.
Well, I like talking about movies, and you guys just talking about nothing.
Nothing. We just related Pooh Bear to it, dude. Like,
Hey,
this is
you want to talk movies? I've watched so many good movies. Let's do this. What you got?
you won't have heard of anything James has
No,
watched.
no.
How
Yeah.
do you know? You know what? Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm judging him.
Okay, then that's fair.
What you got? What you see?
Oh, okay. Well, have you heard? Well, okay, then, Rochelle, have you heard of a movie called Ask Me Anything?
I think I have heard that name. What is it on something streamable, or is it just something that came out in theaters? I think I've heard that name.
No, I think it was on a streaming service. I found it online, but I have the DVD. And it stars Britt Robertson. She plays a character named Katie Campenfeld, where she blogs a lot.
Okay.
And she decides to, like, I'm going to use this isn't my real name, and these people in my life, this isn't their real names and stuff. So she changes the names and locations to, I don't know if it's like protect the innocent or whatever, but
Right.
you get the whole movie that happens, and then she vanishes, and then her mom comes on and saying, like, this is the reality of what she just told you, and she disappeared and nobody knows where she went. So you've got this whole. Well, I found out a week ago that they put out a sequel a couple years ago called Another Girl, and I won't spoil what it's about, but it's a direct sequel to Ask Me Anything, and it changes it changes your entire perception of Ask Me Anything. So
I have to rewatch Ask Me Anything because honestly, I do remember watching it, but I'm pretty sure it was about 4 or 5 years ago. And because I've taken so much content, I'll forget like the details of things. So I'll refresh it and watch. Yeah. So I'll refresh it and check out Ask Me Anything, and then also go and check out Another Girl, because I'm really down for that. And I do remember liking Ask Me Anything. I remember, like, I don't remember much about it, but I remember thinking, I like this. It's an interesting premise. It's cool the way it feels, the energy of it.
And it was one we had one of our topics for the week was like gut punch moments. And I had that as the gut punch ending to that movie. And it's a surprising cast because you may or may not know who Britt Robertson is, but you've got Justin Long in there as the professor she's who's cheating on his wife with. You've got Christian Slater as the husband that she's babysitting for, who she also cheats with. You've got Robert Patrick playing her dad. You have Martin Sheen playing her boss at a bookstore. It's just a surprising supporting cast in it.
Yeah. It sounds, I think I'm going to check it out. I definitely remember seeing the first one. I don't remember a lot about it, but I definitely remember liking it. And that's another thing, is a lot of times I'll see a movie and then I like it, but I'm watching a lot of movies, and then I'll find out like 3 years later, somebody will bring it up again, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, if I had thought about that movie again, I probably would have watched it like 10 times, but I was watching.
I have one like that. It's a horror movie, and it's about little kids that when you park your car on the railroad track, their little handprints show up in your car and it pushes you out of the way.
What?
And for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it. Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah, I totally drew a blank on that one.
I was trying to think of one.
I
watched something recently that was.
Okay, which one did you see? I guess I thought he was listening to me, but that was really fast to be my comment. Let's see, which one did you see, Nathan? Let us know, because if it's mine, I want to know the name of it.
See, I've still been on the hunt, and like Tubi has a huge selection of cult classics and stuff. So I've been going through all the cheesy, like post-apocalyptic Mad Max ripoffs and stuff. Trying to find a movie that I remember one particular scene where a guy has been captured by the enemy. A burly dude with a big bushy beard is how I picture him, and he's been stuck in a wall. So it looks like he's like in the stocks, with just his hands and his head sticking out of this wall, but it's just a wall. And his friend finds him. There's no way to get him out, so he puts him out of his misery and just takes his head and turns his head 180 degrees.
Jesus.
Right?
That'll do it.
But this is like a cheesy, like 80s flick like that of that era. And I've searched so many of them, skimmed through them on Tubi, and I can't find that scene.
Don't you hate that? I know I had one. It was a 50s movie, and it had this weird, like, space octopus little thing that would float in the air and land on people's heads and stuff. And I was talking with Chris Alexander on one of the podcasts, and he gave me the name. And we were looking at it. It's like, yes, that's it. And now I can't remember what name he gave me. But Nathan said he's talking about mine. Cool. What's it called, Nathan? With all the little hands. Because I remember the cover has a bunch of little handprints.
That's not ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Dang, it was cool.
Oh
well.
Or the little octopus thing you think.
Right.
That's a 50s flick?
There's a 1936 movie that I'm so obsessed with. And I always think, like, when I watch black and white movies, they always have a specific feel, almost like an unrealistic version of the way people behave. It's almost too proper in these 50s films. They're
Yes.
telenovela-ish.
Yeah.
This is not that way.
Really?
Yeah, and it's one of the funniest black and white films I've ever seen. It's called My Man Godfrey.
William Powell.
Yes. Oh,
That
it's
is-
so good. I mean,
That is a good movie.
And honestly, I can't believe it was made in 1936. I cannot believe it. The humor is so evolved for that time period.
I've never seen the movie, but I saw the
on
poster
Prime.
many times.
It's on Prime. It's on Prime for free if you have that.
Yeah.
But I've watched it so many times. The mother is hilarious. She is one of the best characters I've ever seen. But yeah, the whole family is pretty ridiculous. It's very funny. And for being from the time period it was, you just wouldn't expect the kind of grandiose things that they do and say. And it's shockingly funny as well. But yeah, that's why I favorite black and whites, because it's just so absurdly funny and great.
An even better one with him, also black and white, would be The Thin Man.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. He's so good. Yeah. Me and my mom used to watch black and whites like constantly. That was our thing. We'd go to like Blockbuster and just rent old classics and stuff and bring them home. So
but hands down the best black and white film I've ever seen. And if I ever do get into acting, I don't have any immediate plans to do that. But if I ever do, I would credit it to this movie. It was the Jimmy Stewart one, Harvey.
Oh, Harvey.
That sounds
yeah. He has
yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is a good one.
There's a lot of good ones. I used to watch Alfred Hitchcock Presents at night when I was little. So like I'd start watching his movies when my mom would take me to get black and whites, and then we went to Universal and they had a whole Alfred Hitchcock like area that they would show you how his films were done, and then you could actually get on like this carousel and they'd make it look like you were being spun around the thing and they'd film it.
Oh, wicked.
So I did it. They were like, we need a volunteer. I'm like, that's me. You know, of course. I'm like, I'll do it. But it was the coolest thing. I was, I think, like 11. And my mom was like, I think you're the only 11-year-old in the world that's obsessed with Alfred Hitchcock.
There are worse things on the planet to be obsessed with.
Like, he's amazing. Are you kidding me? I watch him every night. He lulls me to sleep with terrifying stories. Like, love it.
Awesome. Well, Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us on not only Thanksgiving, but the movie Madhouse.
No, thank you for having me. And thank you so much for having me for dinner, because I'm going to be thinking about that. Like, me and that dinner are going to be dating for a while in my head. Fantasy dates, just me and you dinner.
It was good.
Is there any leftovers?
Yeah, tons.
If there is,
that's the better part.
Let's hit it up.
You think the meal's great? Wait till you have the leftovers.
Wait till you have the leftovers.
It'll be like 7 a.m. You hear a little knock at the door. Anybody up? No, Rochelle, we're still sleeping.
Okay.
Is it turkey time yet?
I'll be back in an hour.
Oh man, no, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Good.
I wish James would be less afraid of me and talk to us more. But
let me see.
I couldn't think of another question. I'm gonna say, who else am I gonna ask about? Oh, how about the guy who
barely talk to me when you're here? You don't like me. Just tell him. Just say it. I mean, I won't beat you up.
Oh, I think you asked something about Michael Wincott, didn't you?
I asked. Yeah. And then everyone looks at me strange after I ask him, like, as if you told me before the show.
That's what it was. Yes, I do remember now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It comes flooding back.
Oh, let me tell you about that asshole.
If you want to hit one nerve about The Crow, it's Michael Wincott, so I get you on that. But that wasn't your fault.
Yeah,
we didn't.
You're right. Fault, you know.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, now I do.
Yeah,
we blame Michael Wincott for that. He's the one that's a prick.
Because literally this whole episode, I'm sitting here going, "What question did James ask?"
I was like,
yeah. Had I thought about it for 5 extra minutes, I could have said the guy who runs the food truck that called you Sarah Monster or something. The guy. I think that guy also ended up showing up in that TV show The Wire as the Greek. I'm like, that would have been a much cooler question.
But now's your chance. You ready? Go for it. Hang on. Oh, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
What's going on here?
It's still over.
Here we go. Oh, and let me get Nathan out of the way.
Let me get Nathan out.
The floor is yours, James.
Well, did he ever show up at any of the reunion shows? I'd have to look up his name.
I honestly never saw him after. You're talking about Mickey, the guy that played Mickey?
Yeah, what's his...
I never even saw him after filming. I don't even think I saw him on set other than the actual set we were filming. Like the back lots area, like where we were filming was where I saw him, but around set, the dressing room, like all those types of areas, I never saw him.
He was just there for his 2 days or whatever, and off he went.
The day or whatever, shot his scenes and left, but he didn't dangle around the set at all after we even chat with him. I mean, honestly, I didn't work with T-Bird, but I spent a lot of time talking to David Patrick Kelly. We spent a lot of time chatting, and we had zero scenes togetger. But he was
that would be such a cool guy to meet.
Oh yeah, let me make you jealous for a second. He was about his career, and he told me about the Warriors, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's my mom's favorite movie." And he's like, "No way!" And he's like, "Yeah, I end up playing a lot of these rough characters, like I am here." He's like, "But I'm actually, trained for like stage work. I'm a professionally trained, like, Shakespeare trained, stage artist." And I was like, "Really?" And he just started reciting works of Shakespeare to me in this beautiful voice. I mean, it was just that the way he could present it, it was nothing like the character he was playing. I was like, well, hot damn, you are so cool. And so we just got into a lot of discussions about things.
And I would still say, outside of the Warriors and The Crow, I'd say one of my favorite roles of his, because it's very, very, very subdued, is when he plays Charlie in John Wick.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the John Wicks, but I didn't realize the guy that made them I worked with. And so and I was like, oh, him. Yeah, no, I know him. They're like, yeah, he made all of them. I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome.
He wasn't Brandon's stunt double, was he?
He came in after Brandon passed away because he was his friend, and he also had a very similar one that wore the Brandon mask, and I was locked in my dressing room when he was there wearing the mask because they were afraid it would make me break down. Most adults were breaking down, but he was the one that did that because his stunt double and stuff like that didn't actually have the exact physique. So when they wanted to do an actual shot of his body, he had that body. So, but I did meet him on set and we talked and such, but it just never put together. And then I think it was James that was like, you know him, he played. And I was like, wait, the guy that came in and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, he made all the, he's like, yeah, he was like the producer of them all. He wrote them. I was like, what? I was like,
is that Stahelski?
Yeah. I was like, I should check that out. I was like, I had no idea that was who it was. It didn't click to me. The name just didn't click. But yeah, so I want to check those out because those are really great movies, but I just haven't seen them yet.
They're pretty fun. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm not a big action fan, but I like when they have a great plot. That's good, and I've heard plots. So.
Yeah, David Patrick Kelly only shows up in the first one. He's in. Okay. His character comes back in the second one in a deleted scene, but he's got a big long beard. I'm like, well, how do you grow a big long beard in 2 weeks? It's because he was doing Twin Peaks at the time, and he had a big long beard in that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the only thing I remember that I really wanted to see him and then didn't get to was he was in an Off-Broadway when I did an interview at Independent Film Channel. He was there with me doing his interview. So we got to see each other and we took a picture together because I hadn't seen him since we did the movie. And I said, what are you up to nowadays? Like right at that time. And he was doing, I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Once.
Yes.
Great film, right? Incredible film. There was a stage, production of that in New York off Broadway. He played the guy that ran the music shop.
Oh, nice.
So he was way older. His hair was white and stuff. So it was a perfect role for him. But he said he was really loving it because the cast was amazing. And it's, as you know, if you've seen the movie, it's such a great story. And it's not a typical story. So it feels more like real life than most stories do. So, and it has all that beautiful music in it. So I thought, what a great play that would have been to see him in. I tried to get up there to see it, but I couldn't get up there in time.
Well, Aaron just mentioned that, where is it here? I plan on watching the third one tonight, then the fourth one next week.
I heard the fourth one just came out recently, right?
With the
A
wife.
few months ago, a few months back. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check
and then
them
get
all
into the
out.
series.
I was gonna say I'll just check them all out together because since I haven't seen them, and I probably wouldn't have until James was like, "Dude, you know him? We're friends with him." And I was like, "We are," and he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, duh." So yeah, I feel like it's just respectful of like a colleague that I love his work. I want to see what he did now.
I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but Rob's currently turning into Max Headroom.
What?
your image your image is shaking on the screen.
Oh, wicked!
I didn't notice.
No, that's cool.
No, the thing is, I dropped some,
Thank you.
I dropped some stuff in everyone's drinks tonight, so enjoy.
Not again.
Even you, far away, it's in yours too.
No, don't you worry.
Where am I?
Let's see here. All right. Well, in that case, again, Rochelle, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you everybody that was chatting with us. I guess for another week at the Movie Madhouse, I am Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
I'm Rochelle.
Yes. We'll see you later.
Toodles.
Toodles.
I'll take Philip! It's a man!